Talkline presented by MVB Bank, your most valuable bank member, FDIC. The Majority Leader of the West Virginia State Senate is Mitch Carmichael, Republican from Jackson County. Mitch, thanks for letting me rearrange your schedule today. Appreciate you coming on. How are you, sir?
It's always a pleasure, Hoppy. Thanks. Great to be with you.
The whip counts the votes, but I think you got a hand in this too. It's 18-16 advantage in the Senate for Republicans. Or do you have all your folks there for the override of the right to work veto today?
We do, and in fact, the whip, Senator Craig Blair, is in my office right now, and so we're all lined up, ready to go and initiate prosperity in West Virginia.
Is there any, should I attach any significance to the fact that the veto was just literally hours ago, and you're moving on this today?
Well, I mean, we want to move post-haste to create jobs and opportunity in West Virginia. There's no time to waste. All you have to do is pick up the paper and see the situation from an economic perspective in West Virginia. It is high time, long past time, that we take the steps that are necessary to ignite the revolution that will lead to progress and opportunity in West Virginia.
Those are big words, Mitch. You talk about revolution, prosperity. We'd love to see that. That's a big check you're writing. Can that check be cashed? By that I mean, if you don't have that within, we're impatient. If you don't have that by the next election, the election after that, are the voters going to hold you accountable? Said you promised prosperity, you promised revolution. Things are the same. This thing didn't work. Are you worried about going out too far on a limb here?
No, I'm not worried about it at all. I think what I can say to every voter in West Virginia and every citizen throughout our state is the status quo has not worked. And it is undeniable that the path that we have been on has not led to prosperity. This override today will send a message throughout America and frankly throughout the world that West Virginia has changed, that we are really, truly ready to embrace the 21st century economy and create jobs and opportunity for our people. Hoppy, I've talked to people who said they never dreamed they would see the day in West Virginia when we would pass right to work and truly open up for jobs and opportunity. And I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I know it worries some people in the union ranks. It should not be a worry. This is freedom for the worker, and it is opportunity for our citizens.
Do you have any concerns? How concerned are you about your peeps on the House side that it was a much tougher draw over there? They had a lot of problem with their own people over there on the Republican. Concerned about that?
Well, I'm really not concerned about it. I believe that they passed the initiative as it was debated. A veto override is merely just confirming the votes that you've already cast. So I'm not worried about it. I have complete confidence in my colleagues in the House, and I think all of us collectively are working together, whether you voted for this bill or against it, Hoppy, and whether you completely agree with what we're doing from a legislative agenda or not. The truth is we all want the same thing. We all want prosperity and opportunity.
Yeah, but the labor folks think you're not going to get there this way. The labor folks think this is a step back. But anyway, I want to talk. I'm not going to re-argue that fight today. I want to ask you about a couple other things while I have you. Mitch Carmichael's the Majority Leader of the State Senate, Republican from Jackson County. He's the number 2 guy in the Senate. Mitch, Tuesday, I think the Senate will take up the governor's proposed cigarette tax increase of 45 cents a pack, bringing the tax up to $1. So the fact that it's going to start moving in committees, that means that the Republicans in the Senate who have the majority are in favor of raising the cigarette tax.
No, I wouldn't attribute that. That is a much more difficult issue. It's not really a caucus position at all. We have not counted the votes on that. We believe, me from a personal perspective, believe that that's a good move. It's a good initiative to raise the cigarette tax. But that's completely not a caucus position, and we'll allow, and we always do, the members will determine their own way on that measure. I think it's good public policy. I've been out openly for it in the past, but that is a difficult issue, and I don't know how it will meet in the House either.
No. Also, one other thing. Yesterday on this program, Senator Chris Walters, Republican from Putnam County, said he was introducing a bill which he said has support in the Senate to remove the subsidies from the greyhound purses, the prize money, and the greyhound breeders fund. That's about $15 million. It would go back into general fund. If you do that, it probably means the end of dog racing. Do you support that? Is there support for that in the caucus?
100% support.
100%.
Yeah, well, I mean, I support it 100%. I believe there's widespread support in the caucus. We will, if we have our way, we will not leave this legislative session with taxpayers subsidizing greyhound breeders and racing. we have incredible needs for resources in PEIA, our education system, and other vital government functions, such that to attribute $15 million or $5, frankly, to subsidize that venue and that operation is just an inappropriate use of state funds.
Mitch, finally, if you're going after the subsidies for the dog industry, why not go after the subsidies for horse racing as well?
Well, that's not a component of this particular legislation. I mean, I know there are those that say, if it has 4 legs, we're not going to subsidize it. The horse racing industry is not a component of this particular bill. We don't. We'll look at that as a separate institution and a separate organization, and we'll view that bill separately. What I can say to the listeners is that with regard to dog racing and dog subsidies, that's the bill before us, and we will absolutely pursue channeling that money into vital government functions like PEIA and so forth.
Mitch Carmichael, the Majority Leader of the state Senate. Mitch, thanks for coming on. I know you got 4 sessions in 5 minutes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Hoppy. I'll talk to you later.